Yo, what's good guys, it's Red Infernus, and today we're gonna talk about something very interesting that I've noticed with this game, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. And if I could explain this game with one word, it would be addicting. Like, this game wants me to play more. Like, it makes me wanna play more because of its good multiplayer, and honestly, it's very fun. I wouldn't have expected it to be this fun, honestly, when I bought the game. And the reason I bought it because of like I've never played this game before, and I thought this would be a good way to experience this game. But another thing that I've noticed is the good content in this game. It really feels complete. In difference to like Need for Speed Heat, where it wasn't complete, and Need for Speed 2015 and Need for Speed Payback, like, we haven't really experienced a complete game since Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, really. Even 2012, Need for Speed Most Wanted 2012 wasn't really that complete in my opinion. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit gives the player a very good experience because of these reasons. It's very easy to pick up but very hard to master, and I think that's a very good thing, and a thing that Criterion should take going forward. And another thing that I've noticed is how competitive this game is. Even with the bots, like when I would play some races, I would have to do them like 10, 20, 30 times over because they were hard. And this is a big thing that I've missed in Need for Speed. Honestly, this is a thing that needs to come back and needs to be a thing, because it's very important and makes the game more addicting. It makes the game more like better in general. And of course, by addicting I mean that you want to play more. It's not like it's a bad thing. But I go deeper into this in another video, so if you wanna check that video, click on the top right corner after you watch this video. And make sure to subscribe if you wanna see more content like this. In my opinion, if we have content, we can put all the other pieces together. So for the next game, I would like them to focus on the core game and the core like content that they're putting in the game, in order to then expand later on, if you know what I mean. If they do this, I think that the game would in general be better, even though maybe they have to cut some of the other things out. Like, if you look at Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005, like they don't have a lot of customization if you think about it, but they focus on the core game, which was the gameplay and the blacklist and these other elements that were in the game that were amazing, like the cops for an example, which is the best until this day. And this makes a game great. Focusing on the core part of the game makes it more complete and feels more complete. So in my opinion, Criterion shouldn't listen to the fans as much as maybe they have been, because the fans think a lot of things. Like, we are very different as human beings, so listening wouldn't really solve any problems. But knowing what the core is, knowing what the core is going to be for the next game is very important and should be a priority at Criterion. Let's say they make another Most Wanted type game, so they focused on cops, they focus on like the gameplay, the handling, and they focused on the story. It would create a more better game than focusing on everything at once, like map customization, multiplayer, all of these other things that they could add later on, or maybe even expand in later games, because it's easier to build a game when you already have the core. But now Criterion is actually starting from the beginning, which makes this even easier in my opinion for them, because they can start from ground zero and have nothing to compare to really. A good example of bad content is really all the Ghost games, unfortunately. Even though I think they're great games in their ways because they have what we want. They didn't execute them well. And when you don't execute your ideas well, the game becomes bad. The game becomes unplayable after a while. Like Heat is the shortest Need for Speed game I've ever played in my life. I played it throughout launch to like January, February. That's when I stopped playing the game because it was that boring. It was nothing really other than racing, and that's it. Like there were no multiplayer, there wasn't anything to really expand on, so it became very boring very quickly. And honestly, even if this game had updates, it wouldn't have survived past summer. Why? Content. Content is far more important than I think most people think. We need to consider that, look, I know we want a lot of things in this game, but we need to consider the important things that needs to be added to this game. And that is to fix the core part of this game, because we don't have a core. We haven't have a core, a good core for like a Need for Speed game for the last like 10 years, and it's really bad. In my opinion, I would rather have like a game like Hot Pursuit that plays very well, is executed well, and that is fun. Like the most important thing is that is fun. Like the game must be fun in order to be enjoyable. That just makes total sense. Like of course the game has to be fun to be playable, but unfortunately they are not in the latest Need for Speed games, and that just proves my point. And of course for the next game they can't exactly put the same things, like they can't put the same things that have been put in like from Hot Pursuit, or make a Hot Pursuit game. In my opinion, I don't think Criterion will make another Hot Pursuit or Need for Speed 2012 style game, but I think they will have the like Criterion or Burnout elements. Like there will be a lot of jumps, there will be a lot of like goofiness, which honestly I don't like. I would like a more serious Need for Speed game, but that's just my opinion. If the game is complete and good, that's at least better than the last games, and I would be more happy to have that kind of game but complete than have a serious game but incomplete, if you know what I mean. And that is what makes Hot Pursuit such a special game, because it was the last Need for Speed that was actually complete in my opinion. And it's fun. I really enjoy the game. I wish I played more, but unfortunately the new Call of Duty has also launched, so I've played that game as well. So I put aside Hot Pursuit for a bit, but I'm gonna jump back into it. But from my experience so far, it's quite fun, and I do not regret buying it because it actually feels good to be on the game. Even though I don't like the handling, it takes a while to get used to, I really enjoy the game as a whole, which I haven't done in a while. Like Heat, I enjoyed it for a bit, but then it kind of died on me because there was really nothing else to do, while it feels like there's always something to do in Hot Pursuit. If there isn't anything to do in the campaign, you can jump into the multiplayer and play against random people and challenge them and become better at the game, because the game has a lot of like multiplayer feel. Like this game feels a lot like a multiplayer game when you play it. Yeah, like you have all these power-ups and stuff, and you race and you try to take him down or escape, depending on if you're a cop or a racer. And this never really gets boring in my opinion. And actually it keeps the game going and it keeps the game alive, which I do like a lot. So Criterion needs to have a plan, in my opinion, to make the game alive. What is the difference maker in this game? What is the thing that's gonna set apart from the other Need for Speed games that is going to make the game last a longer time? That is a question I think Criterion should be asking themselves, instead of trying to put in everything that the fans have asked for, because the fans As I've said in the earlier videos, they have a lot of opinions, and we are in our different bubbles, and we come from different generations where we'll play different games, so we think differently. Like, some people want the Underground 2 remastered, but in my opinion, I don't think that is possible at all. Maybe in the future if they wanna remake the video game, because that's the only proper way to do it, but there is no real benefit to it in my opinion. Why go through such troubles? Why just not make a good new Need for Speed game? That would be more suiting in my opinion than try to remake Underground 2. Maybe in the future when we have when Need for Speed as a franchise is stable again and actually has things going for themselves, maybe then can we have a Underground 2, Underground 1 remastered, or even most wanted 2005 remastered. That would be great. I would love to see that, but not at this particular moment. And that is it for me today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video.